Hello everyone and welcome back to the most inconsistent channel in booktube. I said I would have a video doing my top 10 favorite books I read in 2022, so this is that video. I do have a little bit of stats for my reading year right here on these nice little note cards. I did read 55 books this year. I don't think I'm going to finish either of the ones I'm in the middle of right now, so that's what we're gonna go with, and they wouldn't break this top 10 anyway. At least I don't think so. So yeah, I read 55 books for a total of 38,578 pages. 55 books doesn't sound like a lot, but my average book was 701 pages long, so that is a little bit ridiculous. Year of the short book, 2023. That is probably not going to happen, but, you know, we can cross our fingers. Anyway, let's get right into this. This is in order from 10th to 1st, you know. And coming in at number 10, we have the last book I finished, which is actually Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I believe I gave this an 8.5 out of 10. It's pretty slow going in the beginning. Obviously, this is the introduction to Fitz Chivalry Farseer, and you know, this whole realm of the elderlings thing, I had no clue what it was actually about. People always just say, "Oh, it's about Fitz. It's about Fitz." Well, I can tell you what the first book is about, at least now. It's about an assassin's apprentice, if you could believe that. If I'm being completely honest here, and I think I might do a video on it, so I don't want to get too in depth, but the first 100 pages had me a little worried, honestly, because I wasn't really vibing with the writing. She has this thing where she'll do like a nice long eloquent sentence, and then she'll get two abrupt, like, elementary school level sentences in there, and that wasn't really vibing with me a whole lot, because of course I am a prose snob. I did get more used to it the further I went into the book, and I am looking forward to continuing Royal Assassin in January. So yeah, overall I actually really liked it. Once you got into everything and got acclimated, her character work really started to shine through after that first 100 pages where you were really just setting the scene. So yeah, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. And moving on to my 9th favorite book of the year, this is going to be Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, book 2 of the Gentleman Bastards sequence, chronicles, saga, something like that. Gentleman Bastards. Whoa! You guys didn't see that. I hope the book is okay. Yeah, Gentleman Bastards. This book is kind of weird that it's on this list. I thought it was the least technically written of the 3 Gentleman Bastards books, and I think it's probably the least good. But I enjoyed it the most because it's about pirates. So yeah, there's not really much I can say about that. And I don't mean prose, I mean like structure-wise. The flashbacks were the weakest. The pacing at the beginning and end was very erratic. But yeah, it's about pirates, so it's automatically on this list. Moving on to number 8. This is going to be Enemy of God, book 2 of the Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell. This is, of course, an Arthurian legend retelling from the perspective of Derval, who is one of Arthur's warlords. This book really just has it all. It has insane action. The pacing is pretty much great throughout, so I don't remember any really slow points in the middle of it. The end is completely absurd. It just had it all. The writing is, I wouldn't say it's top-notch, but he is no slouch when it comes to his prose and the way he introduces things in goes over everything. So yeah, also his battles are like possibly the best. So yeah, Enemy of God, book 2 of Warlord Chronicles. And then similarly, book 7, my 7th favorite, is The Warrior Prophet by R. Scott Bakker. This is book 2 of the Prince of Nothing trilogy. This is kind of in the same vein as Enemy of God. This just has it all. It's deep and confusing and dense and complicated, and also has some of the most insane battles I've ever read, you know, like outside of Malazan, of course, which we will get to on this list. I think this would have had the potential to be a lot higher on the list if I hadn't read some of these books that I consider pretty much perfect. So yeah, there's not really a whole lot I could say about that without spoiling it, but yes. I forget where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6th favorite. A Dance with Dragons by George R.R. Martin. This is the first time I read it this year. This is, of course, book 5 in A Song of Ice and Fire. In case you didn't know, this has all of my favorite POV characters that was lacking from A Feast for Crows. My books are falling over. And it really, as crazy as it sounds, it opens up the world even more. And it's just, I don't know, I can't really say a whole lot without spoiling that one either. But just know that it has all of the best characters in the book that were not in A Feast for Crows. So yeah. And then moving on to book number 5. This is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. The best Stephen King book I read all year. Of course, I'm not including rereads on this list because I did reread 11/22/63, It, and Pet Sematary, but this is the first time I've read Salem's Lot, and this book just has all of the things that King does best. The town building, although the characters are kind of lacking, he makes up for that with the atmosphere surrounding the town of Salem's Lot, and it is genuinely a little bit creepy in spots. So yeah, Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I did leave a little note here because I don't have book number 4 in a physical edition, and it is going to be Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. McCammon explores childhood and a child's imagination and creativity in this way that I haven't seen anyone else really capture other than Stephen King. And it is kind of like a coming of age inside of a murder mystery, and the characters are all great, the story is all great. It makes you feel like you are, you know, a little kid again, growing up with him and doing things that kids do. It is kind of fantasy, kind of not. There's some crazy things in it. The writing is magnificent, and you should definitely read Boy's Life if you haven't yet. And the end, I got emotional during the end. So yeah, Boy's Life by Robert McCammon coming in at number 4. Number 3 is going to be The Wisdom of Crowds, Book 3 in the Age of Madness trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, Lord Grimdark himself. This book really wraps up Age of Madness in just the perfect way. I think Abercrombie, the way he wraps up his trilogies is unmatched from what I've read. I loved Last Argument of Kings was my favorite of the first trilogy, and Wisdom of Crowds is obviously my favorite of the second trilogy, seeing that it's on this list. Everything is just so perfect. You are rooting for characters, you hate other characters. There are points in this book where I was rooting for a character, and then I wasn't rooting for him, and then I was rooting for him again, and I was very confused until the end. So yeah, it's all over the place, and I love it. Book 2 runner-up goes to Demon in White, Book 3 of The Sun Eater by Christopher Ruocchio. Christopher, on the off chance that you see this video, I apologize for reading nearly the entirety of Malazan all year, or in this year, because this would have been my book of the year. Demon in White is quite possibly a perfect book, and it's a shame that it's not my #1 favorite this year. Demon in White has all of the things that make Sun Eater great. There are twists, there is interpolitical scheming, there is battles, all kinds of crazy stuff, and I feel like I should say that Howling Dark is also like right on the same level as Demon in White. So yeah, both Howling Dark and Demon in White could have taken this spot. Read Sun Eater, please. Book 5 just came out. I am currently reading it right now, and it is awesome. Read Sun Eater by Christopher Ruocchio. Book 6 should be coming out sometime late 2023, early 2024. That will be the final book. Go buy them all, read them all, and love it. So, I think you may be able to see it right there. I'm not completely sure if it's actually in frame, but you know, it had to go to Malazan, seeing as I finished the series. I kind of didn't know what to pick, whether it would be this one or the Cripple God, but Toll the Hounds is going to win out for my favorite book of the year, and quite possibly my favorite book of all time. This book, even though there were parts that I liked less than the parts I liked the most, this book just spoke to me on an emotional level that I have not seen before. Of course, this book was written after the passing of Steven Erikson's father, and so the main theme in this one is grief, and this book really showcases the Erikson's mastery of human emotion, and just, it is quite possibly perfect, at least for me. I know it's kind of divisive within the Malazan fandom, but this book made me tear up multiple times, and I mean, it's the best book in the Malazan Book of the Fallen. Alan, I know, doesn't like it, but you know, he's wrong. So yeah, Toll the Hounds, Steven Erikson, the best book of the year, and really that spot could have gone to Cripple God, Toll the Hounds, Bone Hunters, Memories Vice, Dead House Gates. Could have went to either one of them. They are all damn near perfect books. So yeah, if you take anything away from this video, read Sun Eater, read the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I am working on a Malazan video. I don't know when I'll get to that or get it out and get it finished, but be on the lookout for that sometime in the new year, hopefully early January. Let me know down in the comments what your 10 favorite books of 2022 are, and I will see you next time. Peace out.